Hello Anchorage, and welcome to Assembly 101. In today's video, we're going to learn about parliamentary procedure and how it is used by the Assembly during their meetings.
Parliamentary procedure is used to maintain decorum, enable fair debate, and to govern by majority rule while preserving the rights of the minority. If you've ever watched an assembly meeting, U.S. congressional or Alaska state legislature meeting, you know that there's a certain set of rules that govern the way that legislative body conducts its business. That set of rules for speaking, proposing ideas, and voting on items like resolutions and ordinances is known as parliamentary procedure. Sometimes referred to by the guidebook called Robert's Rules of Order, parliamentary procedure is the process for proposing, amending, and approving legislative motions. Just like players abide by the rules in a game or a sport, Assembly members use parliamentary procedure to ensure that no one gains an unfair advantage and everyone shows good sportsmanship. Robert's Rules is also used in community council meetings, PTA meetings, and board of directors of nonprofit organizations.
What is a quorum? A quorum is the minimum number of Assembly members required to be present, either in person or over the phone, for the Assembly to conduct its business. Usually, a quorum is more than half of the group. For example, 6 of the 11 Assembly members make up a quorum. Roll call takes place at the beginning of meetings to determine if a quorum is present. What is a motion? A motion is a proposal to take a specific action during an Assembly meeting. Motions are made by one member and must be seconded by another member to proceed. Motions can be used for substantive action, such as making an amendment to proposed resolutions or an ordinance. There are also procedural actions that propose a change to how the meeting is conducted. If the Assembly doesn't want to vote for or against an issue, an Assembly member can make a motion to postpone indefinitely, which, if approved by the majority, ends that legislation moving forward.
Let's consider an example of a resolution for setting aside money to buy more books for Anchorage libraries. The locomotive is the main motion, and the train cars are the amendments or additional motions. Just like a locomotive will not move forward before first deciding which train cars it's going to be carrying, a main motion will not move forward without first considering the amendments or additional motions that have been made. An amendment is an addition, removal, or change to an item before the Assembly. An example would be if we decided to change the names of the libraries, add more libraries, or to change the amount of money that the train was going to be pushing forward. After amendments are considered, the Assembly votes on the main motion as amended.
Majority vote and passing legislation. For a motion to pass, a majority of the Assembly members present must vote in favor. A majority is more than half, or 6 of the 11 Assembly members, if all are present. Some actions require a supermajority. A supermajority is 8 votes, or 2/3 of the Assembly. A supermajority is required to pass a motion to extend the meeting. A supermajority is also needed if the Assembly wishes to override the mayor's veto. Passage of an ordinance, memorandum, or resolution may require several votes of the Assembly, as amendments attempt to change the original document and need to be voted on independently. Sometimes these procedures go fast, and sometimes they are spread out over multiple meetings. As a review, here are the steps used by the Assembly. Read the action item to introduce it. Open public testimony. Close public testimony. Then the chair asks, "What is the will of the body?" One member says, "Move to approve." Another member says, "Second." There is discussion, possible amendments and their subsequent votes, and then the vote on the main motion, with the outcome immediately posted on the screen in the Assembly chambers.
Thank you for joining us for our Assembly 101 video on parliamentary procedure. We hope you learned a lot about our Assembly and its rules of order. Be sure to check out our other Assembly 101 videos, tutorials, and more at muni.org.